So let me just say, before I even go through this deck profile, this is one of those decks where I go back and forth trying to figure out what's best for it, right? So I just want to say this is slightly conceptual, a slightly, you know, disclaimer, but definitely is a little bit off meta, even though he is a blue leader. I will say you will not see this guy running around too much. I think he's still really good, even in this pre-flute era, but I did put this guy at 1 flute, so that way in the future it has a little bit more future-proofness going on. And I will explain my choices, and there's a lot of flex options as far as this goes. But overall, this is a very fun deck, and it's one of those things where, like I said, you just don't see it coming. You just don't understand what's going on until it happens, you know. But overall, it is a very fun deck. So without further ado, let me go and explain the leader. If you haven't seen Iron Vow Trunks, shout out to Rich Harris. I know he's going to click on this video and see this, so definitely go check his video out. I think Eggman did a whole interview with this top 8 states Iron Vow Trunks deck profile, so definitely go check that out. It is a very fun leader. If you haven't tried him out, wow, thank you, Chrome and Untap. If you haven't checked it out, definitely go check it out, because it seems like a lot of fun, and just the leader overall is really fun. Anyway, so for him, he is an attack leader in draw 1. Yes, very underwhelming. Oh well, and at 4 or less, he does flip over 2 and switch to active mode. His awakened side, however, is when his this card attacks, it draws 1 card. And then at the end of the turn, if all of your energy is blue, you choose one of your blue battle cards with energy costs 3 or more and 1 of your energy, and switches to active mode. So this is very much of a baby Super Saiyan 3 / Starter Crew / Galactic Frieza, where it has pretty much all those effects just really dumbed down and kind of restrictive. So the first thing when going into this deck, or this leader anyway, is realizing that all of your energy has to be blue, and if it's not, then you just have an attack leader, or a leader that attacks and draws 1. That's pretty much it. But other than that, and I will also say you might see another video coming out after this one, or later this week or whatever, pretty soon, that has this leader as well, because I've been trying different engines with this man, and I think there's a lot of stuff that can go well and fun with it, so watch out for that. Anyway, so the restrictive part is definitely the blue energy and blue battle cards. So that in itself, if you take a look at really any of the blue battle cards, yeah, there are a lot of finishers. Like there is the Dragon Fist Son Goku, which I actually opted out to take out, but I might put back in. But you'll see why, or what I put back in, or what was just generally the choice for it. Of course, Trunks, the Constant Hope, is in there. And then Beerus, which is pretty good to restand, and as well as just keep attacking for double strike and blowing up their board in hand. And just in general, just if you just take a look at everything, like 3 or more has a lot of range as far as like what's useful. I originally went into this guy where you play the card, and I realized like it's not on attack, and I was like whatever. But this guy, Sneak Attack Vegeta, and as well as the other guy here, because it is a blue Vegeta, 1 blue Vegeta with 3 or less, can play him. When you attack a leader card, you choose 1 card from their hand, or they choose 1 card from your hand and place on top of the deck. So they restand, it has barrier, they're not going to touch it unless they have something that ignores barrier, and it's really good. Even with the new World Tournament stuff, I might take a look at these guys to see. But there's a lot of versatility when it comes to some of these blue cards. But since the championship packs are out, and I really wanted to see what I can make use of them with or for, definitely wanted to see this. And I know they're a little hard to obtain, but I know over time they might drop in value, or you can just trade for them, because that's usually the other good part. Or just go to your regional, you know, support yourself and as well as the game, and go to your regional and just get them for free. That's good stuff. So the concept of this deck is 2 things. So one is going to be the Constant Hope. That's your finisher, with the championship Trunks, and as well as the Restless Spirit Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, and then the wild cards, the 2 Vegetos. This one being the one where you can use 5 energy and then get dual attack and critical, and then double strike for the second one. So overall, he's actually a really good card. And again, he is 3 or more, a blue card, and you can restand him at the end of the turn in case they actually survive. So that's food for thought right then and there, and then retapping. Okay, so let's go through all the cards. Let's skip the Foo. Well, I don't really need to skip the Foo. So the Foo is just there because it doesn't really have removal. This is probably one of the easiest way to remove something, other than at all cost Vegeta, and that's kind of like very situational. You have to like take 2 cards, and it's going for finish, so it's just like, you know, I just whatever, you know. But Foo, or Few, because if you didn't know, his name is short for future. It's a play on Towa and Mira. Mira is like Japanese for time or whatever, and then Towa's, go look it up, okay? It's Few. I just like saying Foo because it sounds nicer. Anyway, he's a double striker for 20, overrun for 5 and 1, and then you get to warp something on their field. You can put this to 2. You can even, you know, get this bad boy out of here, reduce one of the Mai's, and then put one more Few. And I'm gonna say both of them, and then have some more removal. I think that's gonna be really good. Legendary Flute, I mean, because of the restriction, I'm going to put this to 1, just in preparation. I know it's weeks away. You could put this to 4 and then remove the Bulmas. You just don't have too many targets, I would say. Bulma's really the best target other than the Mai. But I would say, you know, if you put this to 4 or 3 or whatever, you know, take out the Bulmas, up the ante for maybe one of the Vegetos or Unbreakable, or one of the Fuse, and then put that to 4. So I mean, if you want to do that, then do that, and then you can just go ahead and free block, return, draw, and everything. This deck does kind of suck with drawing, so the Legendary Flute restriction actually does kind of hurt it. You can add in energy boosted Majin Blue, which is okay, but I kind of opted in for defense for Unbreakable instead, and just do that way. So there's a lot of stuff going on there, and a lot of things that you can flex in, like I said earlier. Whis' Coercion, negate the attack and untap 1. Just the free negate is always good. Sense Being, probably one of the best blue cards in the game right now. Choose one of your battle cards and gains 5k, and then untap 2 basically. So basically untap 1 if you just use the blue. Really good for that, and as well as in tandem with Unbreakable or Mafuba, whatever you want to do. Bulma, supporter of the future. So the reason why I put this woman in is because I couldn't just, like, it was just so difficult getting the Trunks. And yeah, there are only 7 targets for this, which is why she's at 3. You can always reduce her to 2. Shout out to D-Free. I know you're working on the Super Saiyan 3. If you do release it, let me know. But if you do use her, she is really good to search out this Trunks, and which I'll explain why, and then of course the championship Trunks, which is pretty much the target that you're going to be getting every single time, so that way you can start your combos out. Boost attack Piccolo, better than the Kabuto Kai in this deck because you want to keep drawing. Mafuba, one Mafuba. I always run Mafuba if I run blue. This is mono blue, so that's pretty self-explanatory, right? My supporter of hope. Okay, it's gonna be one of those. So you have what, 10 Trunks in this deck, so they're gonna be on the field sometime or another, and as soon as you do, just put down a Mai, and that way you have some more defense. This deck is very kind of linear, you know, but when it gets going, and it's good stuff. Trunks, Creator of the Future. So if you haven't seen this card, this is a 3 blue 3 energy, which is why this is sort of the mono blue, especially since this guy has 3 blue 3 energy. So just again, food for thought. So place this card at the bottom of your deck, choose 1 blue Son Goku or Vegeta with the energy cost of 3 or less from your hand and play it. So the main reason why I have this man is for Preface of Recovery, Son Goku. So again, this is why it's conceptual. I know there's only really one big target for him, if any, just one target. It's for the Mai, so that way you can do that. But the reason why you do that, and let's go ahead and switch over to untap real quick. Let me just say before I even begin, like the fact that they have a bot for this and every time that you move it, like I didn't I should probably do 2 players and then just myself. Anyway, so the reason why you do that, let's say you have 3 energy, you play this man. What you do is actually swing, and this man is going to swing at me, so that's going to be fun. And then right after that, you activate main, return it to the bottom of the deck, and then play this man, and then untap 2, and now you have, if you're awakened, 3 energy back up, and then you can swing with this man and then just restand him. So that's really the best tech for that. If you ever want to get more targets for this, especially for Vegito, I would highly recommend Sneak Attack Vegeta. Both of these guys are the best targets for that, so I would definitely say that. I would definitely say go ahead and use Vegeta instead, so that way you have 2 different targets. All right, back to the deck profile. So yeah, I'm in between. I'm in between. If I ever had to cut something, it would be these guys. Maybe put in Unyielding Spirit Trunks and then Racing Spirit Gohan, so that way you can kind of mainly focus on these guys, and then take out the Vegito. There you go. And then Self-Supplanatory, I kind of already explained. This guy has barrier. He's gonna sit there, and this is really the target for Vegito. And if you have the Constant Hope, he does require Son Goku and Vegeta to be in your drop area, and then it gains triple strike. So you can always combo this man and then get in the drop area, and then right then and there go for triple strike, 25,000. So it's always so good. Theoretically 35,000, because well you'll see. And that's another reason why I don't have Overwhelm in this, and this is why he's only 1. It's like kind of a last resort. You really want the Goku in there because he's the only guy in there, and so that way this guy has triple strike. And so this is where the heart and soul of the deck is, and again, if you ever need to change anything, don't change this. This is what you need in this. I have him at 3, even though it might be better at 4, but 3 is pretty good to even get things going, basically. So what happens is that this guy has a permanent, and the evolve cost is for any Trunks in your hand is reduced by 3, and that target right now is going to be the Constant Hope. So this becomes a 2 blue evolve on top of this guy, and it's similar to the Broly, and it's good stuff. Now the activate main is just busted, because what happens is that let me explain on untap. So yeah, what happens is that this guy has an activate main. So let's say if you have the Restless Spirit Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, this is kind of getting weird now. Basically, you activate main. So you activate main, this guy goes to the bottom of your deck if you have 4 or more energy. That's very important, so that way you wait until that point to have that. By that time, you're going to be awakened, so it should be no big deal. And then you get to play this man, and it goes to the bottom of your deck. But Vegeta has an activate main, or when you play this card in auto, where you reveal the bottom card of your deck, which is going to be him because you just played him, and then if it's a 3 or less feature Trunks, you play that and negate the effect for the duration of the game. So you can't use his activate main anymore, so you can't keep just spamming out 4-drop Vegetas. So this was an SR from the Union Force set too, if you've never seen him. But that's basically the play here. And then because you have this man on the field, and unless he gets removed, which is going to be kind of a hassle, you get to play the Constant Hope right on top of it for 2 energy the next turn. And that's usually the play that you go for game, etc., etc. Back to the deck profile. So that's the main thing here. And because you have a free Vegeta on the deck, Vegito is going to be active, especially if you did this combo. Usually what I do on 3 energy, I have this man, especially since I searched out her with her, and then I play him for 3 energy. I have this guy in my hand usually, and then I put it on a blocker before anything else, and I attack with him, activate the main, untap 2 with him, let him stay, and then just ready out for a Senzu Bean, Mafuba, Whis, Unbreakable, whatever for defense, or let them get me down to 4, and then now I have 4 energy. I play him for 3, and then I have him in energy or in hand, play him for free, and then now pretty much everything is active to get Constant Hope, Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, and then do your thing. Worst case scenario is that you have to awaken yourself. Most of the time you don't really need to. This guy attacks. If you attack, and you get to draw basically on Awaken. Usually that goes pretty well. It drops down their life. Yeah, you give them cards, but it gets them closer and closer to get triple striked or whatever it may be. But worst case scenario, you play all cost Vegeta. I had a lot of different choices between this, Pan, and as well as Tapion. So those are the kind of the main forces for Self-Awakening. But I really love Vegeta because it really works for a lot of different things in this deck. So let's say you're at 4 energy, 6 life, right? That's the best thing that you can do if you've been defending yourself correctly. That's the best way you can do it. Yes, his activate main gains triple strike and KO if you have 5 or more energy. If you wanna wait until then, you can do that. But personally, I love using this guy at 4 energy. And then basically you play him for 4 energy. You draw 1 card and you switch 1 of your energy to active mode. You take 2 cards from your life. You gain card advantage. You awaken, untap 2. You play this man, or you play this man, get a Vegeta on board. Or you play this man and untap 2 with Son Goku, and then now you have a board in which you can attack with this guy, attack with this guy, attack with this guy, attack with this guy to draw, and then restand anything that you want. I generally restand the Goku because I know I'm gonna have a Trunks Hope at hand at one point, and then play the Vegeta for free, and that way I have my Vegito active. But that's kind of the thought process for Pan. Yeah, that's cool. It gets to return to your hand, but it's susceptible for full power and a couple other things. Tapion, yeah, that's good. You can take 2 cards from hand at 3 energy and untap 2, but then the plays don't really continue from there. You just sort of sit there and just be awakened, which is okay, I guess. So at all costs, Vegeta, I think, is the best choice for this. It is the only form of awakening, and in this meta, regardless if you're playing casually or not, I think that's okay. Uninspiring Intimidator, Super Saiyan Blue Vegito. So the reason why I have this man is, well, he's a really good card. It protects your leader, so if your leader card is blue, which he is, if this card is in rest mode, it gains barrier, and your opponent's cards can attack your leader card. So, and when you play this card, if you have 5 or more energy, which is generally the time that you want to play him, in case you have, it's just not going your way as far as this. I mean, the deck is built to kind of stall and then get your pieces and then just play everything with 4 or 5 energy, but that's just, you know, sometimes it doesn't happen. But when you do play this man, especially against aggro decks, when you play this card, you draw 1 card and then you swing for 20k, and then now it's rested. Now your leader is definitely protected for at least 1 or 2 turns, especially if you want to use Unbreakable, since you do untap 1 at the end of the turn. You have at least 4 or 2 energy at the end of the day, and you can Sensu him and have another energy and just and do that, and then my blockers are there as well, so that way they can bait out any attacks against Vegito. So there's a lot of stuff that you can do, especially with Vegito. So there's that, and he's just good. So there you go. I already explained Vegeta. I already explained the Constant Hope, but his again, if I didn't really say this, but when you attack with this card, or when it is attacked, you choose up to 1 blue battle card for your drop area and then combo with it. So you don't have to pay any costs. Sadly, this is not a blue card. I'm actually, now that I think about it, it might be good to use a Boonie, so that way you can draw 1 and then put 1 to the bottom. I mean, you could do that, because honestly, like, you know what's funny is that if you use a Boonie, quick tech here. Well, thank you, Untap. Quick tech here is that if you use a Boonie and then place Trunks Hope at hand at the bottom, or Creative the Future at the bottom, you can play Restless Spirit Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, or yeah, Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta for 4, and then play a Trunks for free, or one of the other Trunks for free. So there you go, some free tech that I just realized. And basically, yeah, that's what you do. Just combo. You can generally the target is going to be the boost attack Piccolo. So before then, you're gonna, I would say, definitely swing with the leader and attack or combo with the boost attack Piccolo. So that way it's in your drop area, and then combo with this man, get a free super combo, draw 1. You know the drill. And now Super Saiyan Blue Vegito, the savior. Basically, he is Union Pretora, so that means you have to have a Son Goku, Vegeta, which is going to be plenty with these two on deck, on board. And And then basically you pay 5 energy. It's going to be all blue anyway. And then it switches to active mode. It now has dual attack, so you swing for 30,000, by the way. 30,000 critical. And then on the second attack, it gains double strike. So basically, generally what you want to do is have this board on 4 energy and then 5 energy. Generally you're gonna have the Goku beforehand. Again, okay, let me let me step back just a little bit there. So again, the thing about it is that with 3 energy, you're gonna want this man in hand and this man, or this man on board and this man in hand. So you activate main, switch, put that man at the bottom, untap 2, and then ready up 2 energy, defend yourself. 4 energy, now you have either at all costs Vegeta, or again, the Bulma should be the first turn play. I don't know where. Oh, here it is. So you play him right after that, and then you have him in your hand, play him with 4 energy, and then the next turn you get to play your Vegito and do it that way. And that's basically the whole premise of the deck. That's the whole thing. Like building up your board, getting Vegeta, Vegito and Trunks out, using the blockers for defense, and then drawing as much as you can in the meantime, and defending as much as you can. And again, if you stall enough, which most people will attack you plenty of times, you're definitely going to be drawing enough throughout the whole thing. And Unbreakable, when you combo, it draws 1. You'll never charge it because you need all blue. So that's it. That's the whole deck. Hopefully, I explained myself. Hopefully this works. I am very, very interested in seeing people's changes as far as this deck goes. I definitely want to see different changes in general. As you can tell, this was made back in July the 31st as far as the first version. So again, I've been trying my best to make the best version, and I don't even think this is the best version. I will be real with you. Like, I have like 3 different versions of this, man. Especially with the Constant Hope and Trunks Hope at hand. So definitely let me know what you think. Comment below if you have any questions. Comment, let me know if I get anything wrong. Like, dislike, subscribe if you're new. I got other deck profiles I gotta do, so watch out for those. And by this time, check out the Untapped tournament. Join the Discord. It's in the description. It should be. And I'll see you in the next one. Later.